I want to start the program off today talking about arthritis, a specific type of arthritis that affects some 3 million people in this country. It's called gout, which is really a type of arthritis. A couple of weeks ago, researchers reported that steroid pills could be used as treatments for gout. Steroids have been used to treat arthritis and other inflammatory issues, so it comes as no surprise that steroids would be used to treat gout. Steroids are anti-inflammatory, and gout is an inflammatory condition. What the researchers unfortunately did not report are the nasty side effects that are associated with steroid drugs, including weight gain, cardiovascular health issues, hypertension, insomnia, mood changes, greater likelihood of infection, slow wound healing, among other health issues. The fact of the matter is, folks, if you don't want to, you don't need drugs to deal with gout or arthritis, or for that matter, any other inflammatory health issue. And by the way, anti-inflammatory drugs aren't really very effective in the long term anyway. According to an article published this past January in the journal Arthritis Care and Research, many gout patients still suffer gout symptoms even when they're on medication. Researchers who published the article said that's due to patients' lack of understanding of the drugs, but it may have more to do with the fact that gout is not about a medication deficiency, nor is any disease about a medication deficiency. So the direct cause of gout, the direct cause of the pain in gout, or gouty arthritis as it's called, are crystals made of something called uric acid that accumulate in the joints and can result in significant pain, especially as it turns out in the big toe. Uric acid is a byproduct of protein metabolism, a specific kind of protein, something called purine. And people who suffer from gout are told to avoid the purine-containing foods, red meat, organ meats, seafood, beer. But what gout sufferers aren't told is that one of the biggest culprits is our old friend sugar, specifically fructose, fruit sugar. In a way, gout can actually be considered to be a type of diabetes. All the same things that happen with diabetes happen with gout. High blood pressure, kidney problems, changes in blood fats, etc. So gout is a uric acid disease. It's not a drug deficiency disease, and there's a significant component of sugar metabolism, particularly fruit sugar, or as it's called, fructose, especially high fructose corn syrup, which is found in high concentrations in soda pop and other processed foods. In a 2007 study quoted in the British Medical Journal, researchers concluded, quote, consumption of sugar, sweetened soft drinks, and fructose is strongly associated with increased risks of gout in men. Strongly associated, unquote. Now, while it's true that fructose is the predominant sugar in fruit, fructose is also a component of ordinary table sugar, and fructose is also found in corn syrup, whether that corn syrup is so-called high fructose corn syrup or regular old corn syrup. Table sugar, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, doesn't matter. We eat a lot of sugar in this country. The average American is getting about 40 pounds a year of high fructose corn syrup and another 45 pounds a year of sucrose, sugar, table sugar. Folks, that's a lot of sugar. And that doesn't include the fructose that we get from fruits and fruit juices, and we eat a lot of those too. The bottom line is we're eating a lot of fructose and we're getting a lot of sugar. Many people have a problem digesting and assimilating fructose or fruit sugar. In fact, 30% of Americans, that's 1 out of 3 Americans, suffers from what's called fructose malabsorption syndrome. So whether you have issues with fructose or whether you're just eating too much of this stuff, the higher your uric acid levels will be and the more likely you will be to suffer from gout. Uric acid is considered a waste product, but it's not like ordinary waste products. Uric acid doesn't break down the way other waste products do. Uric acid has to be passed through the kidneys and into the urine. And if you got a buildup from either eating a lot of purine-rich foods or you're eating a lot of fructose or a lot of sugar or drinking a lot of soda pop, it can begin to accumulate in the kidneys. And once the kidneys become overloaded, then all kinds of problems arise, and high levels of uric acid can be associated with accumulations in the blood and heart problems and kidney problems and high blood pressures. Uric acid will then deposit in various parts of the body, including the joints, and thus you have your gout or your so-called gouty arthritis. So, what do you do if you got the gout? Well, first of all, the most important thing is to watch what you're eating and drinking. I don't want to sound like Mr. Food Nazi guy here, but folks, we can't continue to eat the way we're eating and not to expect to have chronic degenerative diseases and have to suffer from the misery, and it is a miserable condition, of gout. Staying away from purine foods is important. Reducing your intake of beer and wine can be helpful. And you gotta reduce your sugar intake, table sugar, high fructose corn syrup, even fruits and fruit juices, certainly desserts and candies, etc. at least wean yourself off or minimize your intake of those things. Starting every meal off with your Ultimate EFA, starting every meal off with some Slender FX protein will improve your sense of satisfaction and tend to reduce your cravings for sweet foods. Make sure you're getting enough straight protein, beef and seafood and dairy and eggs. Make sure you're getting your sweeties. Make sure you're using sugar metabolizing nutrients. Make sure you're drinking your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. In fact, starting off all your meals with your Beyond Tangy Tangerine is not a bad idea. Certainly sipping on the BTT all day long is probably good. Gout is distressing. Gout is painful. Sometimes it hurts so bad just having a blanket on your foot can cause misery. But it's not a medication issue. It's a nutritional issue. It's a food issue. And that means, like all chronic degenerative diseases, longevity supplements can go a long, long way towards relieving the condition. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're going to take a break. If you have questions about health, nutrition, or prescription drugs, 831-685-1080 is our priority line number, 888-379-2552, toll free. We'll take a break and come back with more good health information on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program right after this.
Aromatherapy oils have been prized by ancient cultures for thousands of years. Longevity's ancient legacy, true aromatherapy, is no exception. Essential oils are the fragrant life essence from plants that are gently removed through the process of steam distillation. Longevity's ancient legacy essential oils are of the purest concentrations from the most respected and ethical distillers worldwide. Many ancient legacy oils come directly from families in the East which have been distilling essential oils for over 100 years. Keep Ancient Legacy's tea tree oil in your medicine chest for first aid. Tea tree oil is great for soothing the itching and stinging associated with insect bites, burns, scrapes, and other skin irritations. It's also effective as an antiseptic. To learn more about aromatherapy and essential oils, contact your local Longevity associate today. And don't forget to ask about business opportunities.
Numerous studies have shown the link between the intake of antioxidants and disease prevention. Foods and supplements are measured in an ORAC scale. ORAC is an acronym for Oxygen Radical Absorption Capacity. In other words, the ability to remove disease-causing free radicals from the human body. Longevity's Cell Shield RTQ has an ORAC value of 15,800 points per serving. Cell Shield RTQ contains resveratrol, known as an anti-aging compound, turmeric, known for promoting healthy digestion, brain function, immune system, and cellular longevity. Quercetin, a flavonoid, is known for promoting healthy blood sugar metabolism and healthy lung and cardiovascular function. Remove free radicals from your body with Cell Shield RTQ from Longevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Longevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Hello, Doug.
Greetings.
Cooking, buddy?
It's always great to have you on the show.
Thank you, sir.
I thought today I would talk a bit about, I saw this particular article and I thought immediately of you.
Okay.
And it was a Fox News story headline, How Food Affects Your Mood. Say mental illness is one of the greatest epidemics of modern times and is on par with cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Instead of seeking a cure, however, Big Pharma treats mental illness as just another disease which can be mitigated by mind-altering drugs. Say nutritional and environmental therapies for mental health are ignored. Fortunately, people with mental health disorders aren't doomed to a life of prescription drugs. In many cases, mental illness isn't rooted in biology, but is a product of nutrition and environmental factors. They say chemicals and other environmental factors. In 2006, scientists from Harvard School of Public Health sounded a long overdue warning. Industrial chemicals are responsible for a, quote, silent pandemic of brain impairment in millions of children around the world. They determined that at least 202 chemicals are known to have the capacity to damage the brain. However, only a few, such as lead and mercury, are regulated with regard to children. Yeah, just ask Flint, Michigan about that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about that. Water. Water is one of the main sources of these chemicals, tap water.
And they say developing brains are significantly more vulnerable to toxicity than adult brains. Children are at great risk for common chemicals used in plastics, adhesives, aluminum. paint, nylon, nail polish remover, and more. In recent years, chemical exposure has increasingly been linked to a variety of subclinical mental health symptoms, behavior changes, cognitive decline, as well as neurodevelopmental disorders such as autism, attention deficit disorder, and mental retardation. And I say clearly the mainstream medical and political establishment has a long way to go in recognizing and addressing the serious problem of chemical toxicity. The government agencies are not even half aware of the complexity of these environmental toxins.
And they didn't even mention sugar, did they?
Nope.
That's another
I don't
huge
think anybody thinks sugar is that big a deal except for those of us on this show.
That's unfortunate. You know, Alzheimer's, and they didn't talk about dementia. They're just talking about mood issues, right?
Right.
Alzheimer's is known as type 3 diabetes these days. You know, you could do some dramatic things by restricting the amount of sugar you eat, let alone controlling your intake of fluoride and chlorine and lead. And even just, you know, we talk about Flint, Michigan, but even regular old tap water in clean, supposedly cities that clean their water and have water purification plants that are functioning, it's still a big issue. You know, do you know what fluoride was first used as, Doug? You probably know. What was fluoride's first use?
Well, isn't it a byproduct for making aluminum?
It is a byproduct, but what was it? You know, its first use, intentional use, was
Probably
as a
rat
dumbing.
poison.
It was a dumbing agent used by the Germans, by the Nazis in World War II. They used to use it on prisoners to keep them docile. It makes you calm. It's a docilating agent. Makes you like a sheep. It makes you just enjoy your abuse. And that's why the Nazis pioneered its use, but that's one of the side effects of its accumulation in the brain. And that's just fluoride, let alone all the other chemicals that you're talking about, and let alone sugar. You know, I always feel like when I'm talking on this program, when I do my own radio program, that I'm beating up on food and I'm talking about how you have to control what you eat and you have to eat less food, etc. But you can't get around it. This is the most important thing that we put into our bodies on a regular basis. And considering the fact that we are so sick in this culture, we're the sickest culture in the history of mankind when you factor in diabetes and cancer and heart disease and chronic degenerative diseases, you can't get around the fact that you got to control your intake of food. And at the same time, because of nutritional deficiencies, because processed food doesn't have the nutrients that it needs to have, because our soils are depleted of minerals, it means you got to get on a good nutritional supplement program. The brain is using up nutrients really rapidly. So if you're dealing with a nutritional deficiency issue or you have a large intake of sugar or processed food, there's no way you're not going to be dealing with mental health issues, whether it's depression or whether it's dementia or whether it's psychotic or schizophrenic behavior. There's no way that you can't at least mitigate the symptoms by controlling what you eat and getting on a good nutritional supplement program. I'll tell you a story, a really interesting story, an experience that I had with a kid who had schizophrenia. When we come back from our break, it involves food and it involves nutrition. We'll talk about that when we come back. We're talking a little bit about food in the brain, which is seems to be in the news lately. Scientific American Mind, which is an awesome magazine about the brain. This month's edition, the March-April edition, has a cover story on food, the best diet for your brain, optimal eating to stay healthy and sharp. And they recommend either the Mediterranean diet, the Scandinavian diet, or the Japanese diet to help preserve our psychological and cognitive well-being. The Mediterranean diet is rich in omega-3 fats, the same omega-3 fats that you get in your ultimate EFAs. The Okinawan diet, the Japanese diet, is rich in seaweed, the same seaweed that you get in your Fucoid Z. And the Scandinavian diet is rich in seafood, as well as meat and dairy and fruits and vegetables. All of these are said to be good, healthy diets for the brain. This, just yesterday, actually, researchers presenting their work at the National Meeting and Exposition of the American Chemical Society presented research that found that blueberries, well-known superfruit, could help fight Alzheimer's disease. How do you like that? There's about 6 million people in this country that have Alzheimer's disease, and as we were saying before we went to break, Alzheimer's disease and food and sugar go hand in hand. In fact, food and the brain go hand in hand. How we eat is going to affect how we think. I remember I used to get a juice every morning. I used to go to the health food store here in Boulder and get a juice every morning. And there would be a guy who would be drinking this big old 64-ounce jug of Coca-Cola, and he had schizophrenia. And I got to know him a little bit because he was there every morning, and I got to talking to him. And he would complain about his prescription medicine. And he had this really distinctive way of talking, kind of this delusional, psychotic way of talking. Oh, Ben, I hate my medication. They are drugging me out, and I hate my medicine. He would say this as he was sipping his Coke. So one day I said to him, come on, let's go over. His name was Rich. I said, come on over, Rich. Let's go over to the salad bar. And I went and I picked out some salad for him. I got him an egg and some fish and some veggies and some tomatoes. We put a bunch of vinegar on there and some salt and some pepper. I got him eating the salad. And as he's eating the salad, I'm kind of watching as he's eating the salad, I'm kind of watching his head start to clear. And he was still talking a little bit funny, but he got a light in his eyes as he was eating a salad. And every day from then on, when I came in and got my juice, I would take Rich over to the salad bar and I'd buy him his little salad. It cost $3 or $4. And within a week, Rich was a new man. He was talking more clearly. He was thinking more clearly. It was like he was almost like he was cured. I don't want to say he was cured, but it was like he was a new person. And pretty soon he got off his medication completely. Now, took some time off. I didn't go to the health food store for a while, and then I went back to the health food store about, I don't know, maybe a month later. And there was Rich. He was drinking his 64-ounce jug of Coke, and he was delusional and psychotic again. Ben, I'm back on the medication. He was drinking his Coca-Cola. But it showed me, and it demonstrated right in front of my eyes in this dramatic and visible way the impact that foods have on our brain. It can't help but be that way, folks. The brain is using up nutrients faster than any other system in the body. That means it's going to be deficient in nutrients faster than any other system in the body. And there's no way you're going to have a healthy brain if you don't have a healthy diet and good nutritional supplements. And by the way, the most important nutritional supplements for the brain are going to be your omega fatty acids and your B vitamins, which I call the brain vitamins, and that means your Healthy Start Pack. Get on the Healthy Start Pack if you're dealing with any kind of mental health issues. If you know somebody with dementia, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is one of the best gifts you could ever give them. And watch what happens. It's dramatic and it's visible and it happens quickly in terms of recovery. All right, if you have any questions about the longevity products or in health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we're here for you. So you had some bone soup this weekend, huh, Douglas? I forgot to mention bone soup. That's another very important nutrient for the brain. The protein in bone soup and the immune factors in bone soup are great for all inflammatory health issues. Delicious, huh, Douglas?
It is so good. And, when you eat it, it actually, you're like you were talking about with the guy with the salad, it just feels like you just feel healthy by eating that because you're getting all these nutrients.
Yes. Isn't it harder to eat crappy food right after you eat something good? Like right after. I'm not talking about maybe if an hour goes by, but if you drink a big old veggie juice or eat a bunch of salad, isn't it just a slightly bit hard? There's a slight amount of resistance to eating some Pop-Tarts or cake or whatever it is that you usually would like to snack on or dessert on.
I don't snack on that kind of stuff.
You don't have any of that stuff? Well, I find when I do a veggie juice, it's just a little bit harder to go for the chips or something that's not as healthy. There's a psychological barrier to doing it because we feel good. There's something intuitively healthy about eating well. We know that it's good for us. And even if we don't do it all the time, we know that once we do it, or once we do it, it becomes much more difficult to do the things that are bad for us. So even if you just get that slight psychological resistance to eating your Pop-Tarts or cakes or cookies or whatever your favorite snack food is, that can go a long way if you do it enough towards improving your health overall. And I'm not a food Nazi here, folks. I'm just talking chemistry and I'm just talking health. There's no way we can't be affected in terms of our brain health and our inflammatory health issues and our longevity by the foods that we eat. Okay, and by the way, the supplements that we take. All right, 831-685-1080, 831-685-1080. That's our priority line number, 888-379-2552, 888-379-2552. Toll free. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey sitting in for Doc today. Let's take our first phone call of the day.
Well, let's head to Chicago, Illinois. And Tom, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Tom.
How you doing, Ben?
Doing good, buddy. What's cooking?
Hey, I was wondering if you or Dr. Wallach ever looked into Dupuytren's disease, and is it a chronic disease? And has he ever tried?
I don't know necessarily I call it a disease. It's kind of it's a deformity of the hands that usually takes place over the decades as we get older. It's more like an inflammatory health condition. I don't know if I necessarily call it a disease. Are you dealing with it, or you know somebody who's dealing with it?
I was told it's hereditary. My dad has it, and I have the first stage
Absolutely, positively, 100% not hereditary. And anybody who tells you that doesn't understand genetics. It has more to do with inflammatory condition in combination with a lack of nutrition and repetitive kinds of movements. Are you a musician or carpenter?
I work construction.
Okay.
So I'm doing a lot with my hands.
Yeah, it's usually has to, folks who do a lot of repetitive movements with their hands suffer from it. It's a thickening of the fibers. Anytime you have a thickening of the fibers, that's kind of a protective response, one of the ways the body protects itself. So you want to think of it like a type of arthritis, basically. Not exactly, but it's a type of arthritis. And so what you want to do is you want to treat it the way you would treat a type of arthritis. Now, we spent a lot of time this afternoon talking about foods and foods in the brain, but foods and inflammation go hand in hand as well, no pun intended there. You may want to notice how when your condition flares up, is it always kind of steady or does it get worse periodically?
Well, if you're familiar with it, I have the nodule on my hand, and now
Okay.
I'm starting to get one of those cords.
Okay. No, those are the signs of it, but the pain, I'm thinking of the pain or the difficulties
Yeah,
bending.
a little bit now.
It
Yeah.
flares periodically?
Yeah, so
Okay, that's good news. Whenever a health condition flares, that's really good news. That gives you a lot of information. Whenever you have a health challenge that flares up, what you want to do is you want to kind of backtrack an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours before the flare-up and see what you did. And it really helps to write things down because it's hard to remember sometimes all the things we do. Most importantly, you want to focus on the foods you ate several hours before your condition flares up. You may notice there's a connection to dairy. You may notice there's a connection to gluten or some kind of flour or cereal. And, of course, then you're going to want to eliminate those foods. The next step is going to be to take care of the digestive system, and there's wonderful nutritional strategies for doing that. And then, of course, you're going to want to use some anti-inflammatory nutrients, and we'll tell you what those are as well when we come back from our break, which we're about to take here, so hang on. Our number 831-685-1080, and we do have a line open for you, 831-685-1080, or 888-379-2552, toll-free. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
I am Judy DeVilbus. Here I am speaking to you again. I just wanted to tell you that recently I started drinking the Whey Shakes again, the chocolate Whey Shake. And you need to remember, the Whey Shake isn't just for losing weight. It's a fantastic place to get your great protein. And if you're trying to gain weight, you can take it along with your meals. And the best part is, if you want to just have a great protein shake, do like I do. Put it over ice, stir it up, and you can sip on it for 20 minutes to an hour. I do it every single day. I absolutely love it. You need to get back to it too. It's really good for you. And it makes not fat, but it makes muscle after you work out. And you can also mix it up in a blender with an egg, and you have the most incredible health protein shake. Or mix it with a little water, stir it up, and you have a little pudding. And who doesn't like pudding?
For more information or to order, call your Youngevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about Youngevity home-based business opportunities.
Okay, we're back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number. 888-379-2552, toll free. We're talking a little bit about Dupuytren's contracture. Are you there, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you got the nodules, you got the cord, you got the inflammation. It is microinflammation, even though it may not appear that way. And anytime you have an inflammatory issue, especially if that inflammatory issue flares up periodically, you want to be focusing on foods. That's the first thing you want to do. That means look for problem foods and gluten and dairy and grains and flour and processed foods and sometimes eggs. And you never really know what the problem could be, but what specific foods are causing the problem, but you want to look for it. Then you want to start to strengthen the digestive system. I love the Ultimate Enzymes for a couple of reasons. Number one, that can help break up foods so that food allergens don't leak into the blood, food toxins don't leak into the blood. Plus, your Ultimate Enzymes will act as an anti-inflammatory if you take them on an empty stomach. So get your Ultimate Enzymes, take 2 or 3 with your meals, swig down a little apple cider vinegar to activate the enzymes, and then also take a couple of the Ultimate Enzymes on an empty stomach. You also want to use your Biolumin Nightly Essence, the probiotics. I like 9 capsules a day. You can take at least 6 of those a day. And again, you don't need to necessarily take the Biolumin Nightly Essence at night. You can take it throughout the day, 3 in the morning, 3 at night, and maybe 3 in the afternoon. Fucoid Z is a wonderful anti-inflammatory. It will also help clean the blood. Your glucogel caps can help you rebuild connective tissue as well. And then if you want to throw a couple other things in there, take some of your take the Ultimate Selenium product. That can help your body make something called glutathione, which is wonderfully anti-inflammatory, maybe 400 to 600 micrograms a day. And of course, the Healthy Start Pack featuring your Ultimate EFAs, which are an all-time best anti-inflammatory nutritional supplement. In fact, that's the role of essential fatty acids in the body, is to act as the molecules of inflammation and anti-inflammation, your omega-6s and your omega-3s, and that would be part of the Healthy Start Pack, which you should definitely be staying on. Sipping on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine throughout the day, and maybe taking 9 of your Ultimate EFA capsules, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 3 at night, and then a couple of capfuls of your Beyond OsteoFX. Thanks for your call. Hope that helps. Dupuytren's contracture. You want to think of that as a standard inflammatory health issue, inflammatory disease. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it. Who's next on the line? Douglas?
Do you think the CM capsules...
CM might help a little bit for the pain, yes.
Maybe the capsules as well, too, for
maybe the cream and the capsules, yeah. Do you like the cream or the capsules better, Douglas?
Depends on what you're dealing with. For muscle-type issues, I certainly like the cream, but for other issues...
You might be better off with the capsules. That's more like a joint and a fiber issue. Okay, who's next on the line, Doug?
All right, let's head to Florida. And Annette, you're on with pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Annette.
Hey, how are you? I'm enjoying the show immensely. Very informative.
Good deal.
I had a condition. I went to the doctor a couple of years ago with vertigo and found out that everything was wrong. I was retaining sugar, high blood pressure, cholesterol, inflammation, thyroid goiter.
Oh, you got everything going on there. About how old are you? About 60s?
75.
75. Okay.
75.
Okay, you sound good. So here's the deal. You got a lot of good life force going. So we're going to fix you right up. First of all, when your body's falling apart like that in all these different places, there's a couple areas you want to work. 2 major areas. One's the digestive system, and that means making sure you're staying away from gluten and flour and cereals and as we were talking with our last caller, anything that causes a flare-up in your symptoms, makes you feel more tired or makes you feel more pain, anything that causes a flare-up in your symptoms needs to be looked at with suspicion and best avoided, and doing a food diary will really help you. That means writing down everything you eat and how you feel. And you can use digestive symptoms like bowel movement problems or gas or heartburn as clues, as data points. In other words, if a food causes a digestive problem, that's going to be a food that you want to stay away from. And as I was saying, the biggest problem foods are going to be flour and gluten, grains of all kinds, processed foods of all kinds, and then sometimes dairy and eggs can be problems for folks as well. But it could really be anything, but those are the big problems. Then the second thing you want to do is be careful of sugar. All of the things you're talking about, your thyroid issues, the vertigo issues, the circulatory issues, are part of a syndrome called metabolic disease or metabolic syndrome. And this is something that's associated, that's linked intimately to blood sugar problems. And at the age of 75, if you're subsisting on even remotely what we call the standard American diet, it's very likely that you're dealing with metabolic syndrome and problems with your blood sugar. If you just take care of those 2 areas, just those 2 areas, avoiding problem foods like gluten and other things, and stabilizing your blood sugar, you're going to notice that your symptoms subside and subside dramatically. You also want to make sure that you're using nutritional supplements for the digestive system, the Biolumin Nightly Essence, the Ultimate Enzymes. Get yourself on some bone soup. Use your Fucoid Z. and then restricting your intake of fructose and sugars and fast-burning sugars of all kinds, and that includes flour. Best way to do that is make sure you're using more protein, get on the Slender FX, and make sure you're using sugar processing nutrients, especially the sweeties, chromium and vanadium, as well as all the B vitamins, which you'll find in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. The Fucoid Z, by the way, that can help you a little bit as well. If you can go caloric restriction, restricting the amount of calories you eat, that can also help. And one of the best ways to do that is to start using your Suero V, which I absolutely love, and I do every day. You can do a Suero V cleanse, where you do half a bottle of Suero V every hour for 12 or 24 or even 48 hours, a 2-day fast. Or if you don't want to go all out and just do a fast, just do the Suero V a couple of times a day or maybe 3 or 4 times a day, and you'll find that you're less hungry, especially if you're using your Slender FX with it. So you got 2 areas to work on, the digestive system and the blood sugar system, by avoiding problem foods, using nutrients for the digestive system, and restricting the amount of sugars that you eat, and using nutrients that help your body process sugar, and then going caloric restriction using the Suero V throughout the day, and if you can, doing a Suero V cleanse. Appreciate your call. Thank you very much, and hope we helped you out. Let's see if we can get one more call in before I break, Douglas.
Well, let's head to Tennessee, and Ronald, you're on with pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Ronald.
Yes, sir. How are you, sir? How are
I
you
am
today?
good, Ronald from Tennessee. What's going on today?
Well, I am. First of all, thanks for taking my call.
Okay.
I'm calling for a gentleman I work with whose son was in a terrible accident back in February. A tree fell on him.
Oh, my gosh. How did that happen?
He was on a service trip with, I think, the Boy Scouts, and it just went terribly wrong. He
Oh, my
was
God.
standing right in the fall path of the tree.
Holy
Fell
moly.
right on top of him, and we didn't think he was going to make it. But anyway,
Was it like a
so-
big old tree, like a huge tree?
I'm not
just-
sure how big the tree was.
Wow.
I wasn't there, but when I got the news, it sounded like he wasn't going to make it.
Okay.
But by the grace of God, he's still with us.
Okay.
And he's had, he was in ICU there for a while. He was, unconscious there for a little bit, but he had some brain damage. His injuries are numerous. He had a fractured skull,
Okay.
compacted vertebrae,
Wow.
fractured femur, brain damage, including brain bleeding, brachial nerve damage.
Oh, that's awful.
11
How long
broken
ago was
ribs.
this? How long ago was
This
this,
was
Ronald?
back in February. It was probably mid of February when it happened.
And he's doing better?
He is. He's doing better. He's at the Scottish Rites Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia, where he's undergoing therapy, and he's showing, lots of improvement. He doesn't need his neck collar anymore, which he was wearing for a long time.
Okay. Is he a young guy?
And so forth.
Young guy?
Yeah, he's about 9 or 11.
He's
He
a-
weighs about 120.
Wait a minute. It's a little kid?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was going to get to that.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
terrible.
120,
Okay, well, here,
130 pounds. He was
there's
like-
some good news here, all right? The good
Okay.
news is that he's young and he can recover from this thing, but we got to pound the nutrition on him. Pound it. There are lots of things you could do. The good news is he's young and he can recover, and the good news is anything you give him is going to help, whatever you give him. Healthy Start Pack for sure, as soon as possible. Beyond Tangy Tangerine, have him sipping on that all day. Do 9 of the, at least between 6 and 9 of the Ultimate EFAs every day. If you could do 9, that's great, but at least 6 every day. Make sure he's doing a capful or 2 of the Beyond OsteoFX. Hang on, there's a lot more you can do. And this is very important. So hang on, Ronald. We'll finish up when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today. We got one more segment to talk to you at. Okay, we are back talking to Ronald in Tennessee. You there, Ronald?
Yes, sir. Still
Man, that's a terrible thing. That's a terrible thing. But the good news is that he's young and that he could turn this thing around quickly, and especially if he gets on nutritional supplementation, because the body is so beautiful. The great gift of the human body is the sicker we are or the more broken down we are, the faster we turn it around, especially if we haven't been on a supplement program when we start one. So Get him on the Healthy Start Pack ASAP, as soon as possible.
Okay.
The BTT, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Ultimate EFAs, and also the Osteo-FX. Make sure he's getting enough protein. Protein is your building nutrient. That would be the Slender FX. Have him do that throughout the day as best as possible. Bone Soup, by the way, is another awesome nutritional supplement, or nutritional strategy, I should say. The cartilage in Bone Soup will help him. The Glucogel caps will also help him a lot. And then as a general tonic, nothing beats the Fucoid Z. He may like the Z Radical a little bit better. If you can get him to do the Fucoid Z, that's got a little bit more bang for your buck. You get more Fucoid in there. Fucoid is just an all-around good healing nutritional element. It's found in seaweed. It's a polysaccharide. It's very important for joint building and joint repair. Mm-hmm. If he likes the, he's a kid. He may like the Z Radical a little bit better. It's got more sweetness to it, but the Fucoid Z is more bang for his buck. If you can get him to do some Ultimate Enzymes with his meals, that will help. And as we were talking earlier, Ultimate Enzymes on an empty stomach also have some nice anti-inflammatory benefits. Working on digestive health is also a great idea, so that would be the Biolumin Nightly Essence. If he notices that he has any food problems, any issues with gluten or flour or bread or dairy or anything, cereals, anything that causes digestive distress, those are foods that he wants to avoid. And then, of course, keeping his sugar intake down as much as possible. Sugar will slow down the healing process, and sugar is also pro-inflammatory, which isn't going to do him any good at this point in time. And man, if he gets on this supplement program, you're going to notice results really, really quickly, especially considering the fact that he's only a 9-year-old or 10 or 11-year-old, as you say. He's going to notice results real quickly. God bless you, my friend. I hope everything works out for him. And let us know how he's doing. Give us a call back and let us keep us abreast of his progress. Thank you for your call, Ronald in Tennessee. Appreciate it very much. All right, who's next on the line, Doug?
All right, let's head to Oregon. And Gail, you're on with pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Gail.
Hi, Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hey.
How are you?
Hey, doing good. What's going on?
Hey. All right, so I'm having a question about weight loss. So
Okay.
I started a program 6 months ago.
Which program did you start?
The 90 for Life.
Okay.
So anyway, so the second month I took the ASAP and I lost 13 pounds. So I was pretty excited. I have 10 more to go.
Very nice.
At that time, I have not been able to budge.
Well,
And-
it's the first weight, the first few pounds always go off the easiest. Don't give up, though. Don't give up. What are you doing? What are you eating for food?
Well, I always have 2 eggs in the morning.
Okay.
And sometimes I have a gluten-free piece of toast with avocado on top.
Okay.
And for lunch, I have 3 ounces of chicken
Okay.
with a side salad, or I have the TMR. And then for dinner, it's veggie and protein. And I'm
And you're
staying
not
away
losing.
from.
And you're not losing weight. You sure you're not sneaking
I'm not
sneaking
losing
something in there?
any.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't snack.
Are you
I don't like to
sleepwalking at
snack.
night and hitting the cookies or the ice cream and all?
I don't think so. I don't even have a craving for any of that. I don't eat ice cream, and I don't
Okay.
have a craving for anything sugar. So
Okay.
yeah.
Why don't you
I'm
try a
kinda lost.
Suero V cleanse? Why don't you try a Suero V cleanse? That's number one. Take a day or two off from food, just doing Suero V. That's the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do, if you notice that you have any kinds of issues with psychological stress or mental stress issues, that's going to keep pounds on you. There's a very important relationship between the stress hormone cortisol and weight gain. When the body thinks it's under stress, or when the body feels like its life is being threatened, and that's what cortisol kind of tells it, it's not going to let you lose weight. And that's the biggest problem when it comes to resistance to losing weight, when the body's resistant to dropping pounds. If you're doing everything right, if you're eating correctly and you're exercising a little bit, and you still can't lose the weight, think cortisol. Now, sugar will spike your cortisol, but it doesn't sound like you're getting a lot of sugar, so I wouldn't blame that. But if you have any kinds of emotional stressors or mental stressors, you want to make sure that you're relaxing your body, telling your body everything is okay. When the body's under stress, you're not going to lose weight, and that's the biggest problem with the pounds that don't come off. All right, I wish we had more time to help you out, but that's all the time we have on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program. If you're on the fence, on the bubble about the longevity products or nutritional supplement program, please give it a shot. I guarantee you, if you're like 99.9% of the folks who start the longevity program, you're going to notice results, and results quickly. Thanks for listening, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben for Doug and Doc Wallach and all the folks at the ZBS Radio Network. Have yourselves a beautiful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
Hi everyone, Andy Anderson here. Are you using those handy little bottles of gel that zap germs, bacteria, and other nasties? In today's world, that's smart, especially with all the filthy doorknobs, shopping carts, and handrails we touch every day. Here's what you may not know. Once the alcohol evaporates, goodbye effectiveness. No more protection until you use it again. PureWorks to the rescue. Our FDA-compliant foam, lotion, soap, and spray do not rely on alcohol. Their killing power lasts up to 4 hours. PureWorks disinfecting spray is EPA certified to kill swine flu, bird flu, MRSA, HIV, hepatitis B and C, and a whole host of viruses and bacteria. Mold and fungus too. It's even safe around children and pets. You'll love the soft feel of PureWorks on your hand. It actually conditions and will not dry your skin. Here's a little peace of mind knowing your hands are still germ-free hours later. Get your hands on PureWorks and get PureWorks on your hands. Stand by. Pull out your paper and pencil for your local number to order PureWorks.
In recent years, several studies have discovered the healthy benefits of drinking coffee. Youngevity has now taken it a step further with an entire product line of healthy coffees from Youngevity's JavaFit line of top-shelf gourmet coffees. All JavaFit coffees are made from 100% hand-selected Arabica coffee beans grown in the finest regions of Latin America, all carefully roasted, creating a delicious, rich, full-bodied flavor. Try JavaFit Focus Plus multivitamins, a fantastically delicious, full-bodied gourmet coffee that is fortified with vitamins and minerals designed to get your day started with a solid nutritional foundation. Traditional as well as organic and fair trade options also available in 30-count single cup or 24-count single pot packs. Contact your local FDI Youngevity distributor to get Javalution coffees. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
If you've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, or the metabolic syndrome, and you're tired of seeing your blood glucose levels rise and fall like a ship on the ocean, but you don't want to take those drugs the rest of your life, Youngevity has an alternative. A product called Sweeties has been developed just for you. Used as part of your regular diet, Sweeties helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels, a formulation specially designed to nutritionally assist your body with the regulation of your blood sugar level. Sweeties supports healthy glucose metabolism because it's fortified with aspartic acid, chromium, and vanadium, all to help you promote healthy blood sugar levels. If you want to get off those drugs and control your blood sugar metabolism naturally, try Youngevity's Sweeties product. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463. You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463. 3463.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, your host of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. If you're interested in a colon cleanse, blood cleanse, liver cleanse, in the classical herbal way, you want to ask your Youngevity associate for Herbal Rainforest. Herbal Rainforest has 16 herbs, 16 cleansing herbs, classic cleansing herbs, and 77 plant minerals. That's right, and these are all organic. It doesn't get any better than that. In your busy day, and you're around all these toxins out there in your workplace, on the way home, going to work, in your food, in the air, in the water, you need Herbal Rainforest. I guarantee you, it will give you a cleanse. You can control the dose. It's a liquid. It tastes good. It doesn't get any better than this. A colon that's happy makes you happy. Nothing better than a happy colon. Herbal Rainforest. Clean it out.
For more information on this product or others you've heard about on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program, call your local Youngevity associate today. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Greetings, everyone. Judy DeVilbus here. What do you think of when you hear the words tangy tangerine? Well, I think of like a sweet, tangy tasting something. Well, what I'm referring to is the Ultimate Tangy Tangerine. It's a fantastic product. It has everything you need, and a great benefit is it's very, very delicious. It's very easy to drink. I've suggested it even to youngsters. Even children like it. Even little guys. Even little girls. They come right into my office. Their parents can't get them to take those chewable, and besides that, they're not as good as Tangy Tangerine. And I give them a little taste of that, and you know something? They're pleased as punch. So, if it's good for a child and it tastes delicious, why not you? There's no excuse not to take a vitamin when it tastes as good as that does. So how about it? Tangy Tangerine should be the answer to all of your nutritional program problems.
For more information or to order, call your Youngevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about Youngevity home-based business opportunities. If you're the type of person who likes to volunteer and help others, this should interest you. What better way to help people than to help them overcome their health challenges? Youngevity has been helping people overcome their health challenges for years. Our approach to health is drastically different than medical doctors who mostly only treat symptoms. As a veterinarian, Dr. Joel Wallach discovered that many common disease states are actually preventable and reversible. Our mission at Youngevity is to educate Americans about their own health. If you like helping people, join us in our fight to save America. While you're helping people prevent and overcome health challenges, you will also be able to build a lucrative home-based business. So what are you waiting for? Come join us and help save America. If you've decided to join us, call your local Youngevity associate to find out how you can arm yourself with the knowledge that's needed to save America.
Through his research as a veterinarian, Dr. Joel Wallach discovered that most health problems afflicting livestock can be prevented and even reversed. Many of these same health challenges also occur in humans. These too can be prevented and reversed. Doc's original formula, called the Pig Arthritis Formula, alleviated all arthritis symptoms in animals. The same basic formula has been developed for humans, called the Pig Pack, which includes plant-derived minerals, a multiple vitamin complex, glucogel, and EFAs. Add to that Youngevity's OsteoFX Plus, a proprietary blend of liquid calcium, magnesium, and glucosamine. Now you have the Pig Pack Plus to make up the 90 essential nutrients Dr. Wallach has identified as necessary for sustained good health and longevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.